know what I'm talking about. Big slow motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Who's next?
Some people say that this is going to save the MCU. And I have to say, I don't think this is going to save it. Okay, it's giving everything of what everybody wants, but it suffers, to me, it suffers in a lot of the meaningful writing. For sure, it suffers within the villains, okay? I'm not saying this movie is bad. I'm saying it was a lot of everywhere.
You know, I actually liked Cassandra as the villain. I thought she was really good. I thought the actress is really good. I thought her powers were really interesting. How she would essentially like mind rape you by sticking her fingers into your head without your consent and digging through your mind. And like, I liked that. Professor X is known for doing that too. Maybe not sticking his fingers in your head, but for, you know,
sticking his mind
digging
in
through
your
mind. Yeah, exactly. Digging through your mind when you probably shouldn't be, you know? So I kind of liked that. But I do agree with you. This movie is not good. Now, that doesn't mean that people won't enjoy it. And I think this is a key difference. This is red meat to the Marvel crowd. They're going to eat this up. But when they do, they're going to be expecting a meal, or some people might be expecting a meal. I certainly did. But instead, what they're going to get is cotton candy. Like, it looks big. It's got a big, strong taste, but it dissolves in your mouth and it's gone like that. And that's what this movie is. It's like cotton candy, and afterwards your stomach hurts and you're not even sure what flavor it was. This movie is essentially that one scene in Multiverse of Madness stretched out for 2 hours. It's nothing but cameos, nonstop. Script be damned, plot be damned, just cameo after cameo after cameo after cameo after stunt casting after stunt casting after stunt casting. This confirms to me that the MCU might be beyond saving, and that also might be okay. Maybe this is no longer for me. If you are looking for a movie, like an actual movie with characters and a plot, that is not here. But if you're looking for cameos, if you're looking for wink, wink, nod, nod, this will be your jam. And
a lot of sick action. A lot of sick action.
I thought the action was ass. The reason why I think the action is bad is because it goes nowhere. Action's only good if I understand who we're fighting and why, and understand what the stakes are. But there's literally no stakes in this film. Now, Deadpool, to his credit, will often turn and look at the camera and be like, this is for the fans, you know? So it's like, all right, it's like they know this is complete BS, but it doesn't make the action any less boring. Let me just say this before we continue.
Right.
It's impossible to talk about this movie without dipping into spoilers. So,
yeah, this is all spoilers, people.
About halfway through, Wolverine pulls on the mask and he fights 100 different Deadpools. Right. And I don't know who these people are. They just got introduced 5 seconds ago. Yep. And they fight and they fight and they fight. Yep. And then when the fight's over, everyone just gets up and then just decides to walk away. They're just like, never mind. And it's like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just essentially the movie's like, you wasted your time.
They got up because of Peter.
And everyone loves Peter, I guess. Like, all right, I guess they should have seeded that earlier in the film, but whatever. I guess that was a joke. Another wink, wink, nod, nod type thing from the other movies. I don't know, dude. But if you like these movies, great. I'm happy for you, and I genuinely hope you enjoy them all moving forward.
When you're saying about stakes, the film wants to show you and wants you to believe that the stakes in this film is Wade Wilson wanting to save his world. But the TVA comes along with this guy named Paradox that's in charge, and the Paradox guy is like, your world is crumbling because a anchor person has died, which is Logan from the movie Logan. I'm like, it seems like desperation. It just feels like all desperation to me.
But you know what? I'll be honest, at that point in the film, it kind of got me. I was like, oh, I see. This movie is going to be a big send-off to the Fox universe. The Fox universe is dying, and Deadpool will be carried over, but no one else will. And he's going to have to make the ultimate sacrifice, sacrificing his whole universe, including all of his friends, at the end of the film in order to be in the MCU. I was like, I see the stakes. I get it. But as the movie goes on, the movie works so hard. It works so hard to tell you that everything's okay. We're not going to kill off everyone. They are just unable to put a stake in the ground anywhere. They can't make a decision anywhere. At the end of the film, and help me, please. You might need to help me, but I don't know what the F Cassandra was doing, but it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, I don't know what she was doing.
She wanted to take over the universe in order to save it. I don't know. They say that Deadpool and both Wolverine are going to die along with the X-Men universe, right? But then the movie's like, oh, never mind. And then Deadpool's like, well, can you make sure my friends back there get revived too? And the leader of the TVA is like, we'll see. And I'm like, what the fuck? So literally nothing happened in the film, right? Like nothing happened. The movie begins in one spot and it ends in the exact same spot.
No, Devin,
like,
that's not. No, Devin, that's not what happened. What happened was the Marvel Universe is carrying those characters on for the fans.
Yeah. Exactly. So nothing happened. The characters are still alive. Everyone's still in their place. There was no big suicide mission at the end of the film. Like, I was really disappointed by that. It just felt like the movie's telling me I wasted my time. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm old, and I am a die-in-the-wool Marvel fan. And when I found out that the X-Men were going to be in a movie in the year 2000, my head exploded, okay? Like, I was so ready for it. And watching the Marvel Universe grow and become what it became, it was just so awesome. Like, I loved it. Like, it made me straight giddy to watch it. But to see where we are now, to see those exact same actors playing those exact same characters in the exact same movies, it is tiresome, and it makes me sad that we haven't progressed forward at all. And after the casting of Doctor Doom, I have no hope that Disney has any interest in moving forward. They are just constantly backward looking. And that's what this whole movie was stunt casting. This was stunt casting the movie. And now we're gonna get a whole phase of stunt casting. Like, what?
We normally don't agree on certain things, but we agree.
Most things.
We agree on this, okay? When you're looking at the past stuff to please all the fans, and you're not being bold.
It's upsetting to see Doctor Doom be a victim of stunt casting. He's one of those characters that has just never gotten a fair shake on screen, right? Never. Doctor Doom and Cyclops. These are characters that just always get disrespected on screen. And everyone is expecting Marvel.
Dang.
Yeah, he just gets killed off in disrespect. I can't go down the Cyclops thing. Anyway. Doctor Doom is the Marvel villain. He is the template that Darth Vader is built on, okay? Like, he is the villain. And for some reason, they always make him weird on the screen. He's always got bizarre powers that he didn't have, or he's like an angsty teenager, or something. Something's always off with Doctor Doom. And to make Doctor Doom a variant of Tony Stark, or vice versa, or whatever, I feel like is frustrating. That is just frustrating. What's going to happen is the movie's going to come out and it's going to be fine. Okay, it'll be fine. But that itch for a real Doctor Doom will still be there. And in 10 years, they're going to retcon it so that there is a real Doctor Doom. Just like they did with the Mandarin, right? Marvel doesn't make complete dog shit, okay? They just make cotton candy, all right? And if this movie is at least cotton candy, people will love it, just like they loved this movie, Deadpool, and just like they loved the last Spider-Man film, because it was just cotton candy. And this is kind of what we were saying off screen. There seems to be like a divide within the MCU fandom. There seems to be people like me, right, who grew up with it and revere it and wish it would go back to being that bold thing that we saw before. Right. But then there's a whole group of people who know nothing but the MCU. They were literally born after the MCU was created, and they know nothing else, and they like this. They really do. They like the fan service. They really like it. And I respect that, and I think they need to have their thing. And like I want them to have their Deadpool and Wolverine movies, right? But I just wish the MCU would give the other fans something.
I just wish they would follow the template of a movie, of a film.
Yeah, me too. Just be like a movie.
You know,
movies that have a beginning, middle, and end, and a plot. I just thought it's weird that Marvel decided to show us that there is apparently just a spot in the MCU that is just full of cameos. That's it. That's all that's there. It's just a desert.
Deadpool and Wolverine, when they're put into the void, all of a sudden in this place, Elektra shows up, you know? And everyone in my theater was like, ooh, And then Blade shows up.
Right.
Wesley Snipes' Blade shows up. And people who know the relationship between Ryan Reynolds and Blade and what happened years ago on Blade 3, they kind of like, whoa, they must have squashed their beef for him to be here, you know? And then Channing Tatum as Gambit is the total fan casting, and he's been wanting to play that character for a long time too.
Right, he was actually cast in the role, and then the movie got canceled.
Right.
There are people that just they like this fan service, right? They like to recognize things, and it makes them feel smart, and it feels like they're like included in a club or something. Like, oh, I get it, I get the joke, you know. And I totally understand that. Again, there are hints that the movie knows this is stupid, right? Deadpool even is, oh, sorry, it wasn't even Deadpool, it was Wolverine. He's like, you're all gonna die, and I thought that was really funny, right? Because I was like, yeah, they gotta die, right? But then they don't die, right? They're just there now, just hanging out. The fan service and stuff is cute, but you can tell with just this conversation, there's really nothing to say except that they were there. When the movie undoes all of its stakes at the end of the film, like it just feels like a waste of time. So people who are like, well, Deadpool is not a very serious, but okay, but in his comics have a beginning. His comics have a beginning, middle, and end. His comics have villains. His comics have stakes. Like that excuse does not work in literally any other medium for any other franchise except the MCU, where people will just accept nothing. They'll just be happy with nothing. The fans genuinely like this. They really like it. You can, like you said,
movies.
This movie made $1 gajillion. Right. People who actually like movies, there's nothing here for you.
Yeah,
it feels really condescending and rude to say, but if you've actually seen this film, you'll understand what I'm saying. There's like virtually no plot. They were just like doing multiple wardrobe changes for Wolverine, right? It was like a costume show. He'd show up wearing, you know, his brown costume. He's like, ooh, I'm wearing brown now. And then he shows up and he's wearing, look, I'm wearing Age of Apocalypse stuff now. It's just him wearing different outfits. Does that make a good movie? I want to go to a movie where it looks like someone gave a damn. You know what I mean? I want a movie that looks like someone tried. And a Wolverine fashion show is cute, but that's not a plot. It's not trying. You know what I mean? Like, it's very cute. Like, I get it. So cute, right? But it's not a movie. And to write a movie, to write a plot with stakes that have consequences is hard. And I can tell Marvel has just no appetite for even attempting that. They're not even trying. And they've realized that they don't need to. There are a lot of fans that will go to bat for them. They will die for them with just a fashion show. A Wolverine fashion show is more than enough to get them animated and tell their friends to come out and watch the film. Right. And Marvel knows this. They can see that. And now they've got Robert Downey Jr. in another fashion show. He's just dressed as Dr. Doom this time. It's so deeply afraid of doing the wrong thing, of pulling the wrong trigger, that it pulls no triggers.
This film is a lot of cotton candy, and you know, it may be good for some, especially people who grew up with this. It did the thing. It did what it was supposed to do for you guys.
Yeah. But I do think this is a grand opportunity for DC. I sure hope the guys in DC on DC side are paying attention and listening to the fans just as closely as Marvel is. I hope they can hear this divide, that there are people out there really hungry for stories, really hungry for stakes. That way, the people who like this cotton candy thing can continue to have it. I think they should have it. I think they should have movies for them. I also think there should be movies for other people too.
Well, that's what I thought about this film. That's what Devin thought about this film. But more importantly, what did you think about this film? Get in the comments, because you definitely will. And let us know what you thought about Deadpool and Wolverine. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We really do appreciate you guys. Even if you guys don't agree with us, it's okay. Please hit the thumbs up, all right? Or you can hit that thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion, but just remember one thing. It is mostly wrong.